Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Voice Talk. I'm Kiran and we got Margret Parker. As we are heading towards becoming a superhero of our life, we are left with our two powers. And today we're gonna talk about Nanny.
The power to face. Today we're going to talk about the power to face.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, the power to face is represented by a very large tidal wave or a tsunami. And there's a picture of this huge tidal wave and one very tiny lone figure facing this huge wave. So it represents the power to face any problems and obstacles either externally or internally with great faith and courage. So they're the two main virtues that are associated with this power, faith and courage.
Okay, so does it mean like that's how as each power has been represented by different pictures and stuff, so that's how this power to face is represented with the tidal wave, like a big wave. And
yes, so it's like you're facing something that's greater than yourself, that leaves you feeling very fearful and maybe very scared. So anyway, as I say, the virtues that we can use to help overcome this are faith and courage. And I was listening to a very interesting talk the other night. It was by Marcelo, who's visiting here from Colombia, and he spoke about the power of yes. And it really impressed me because what he was talking about actually was how sometimes when something difficult happens in our lives, like for instance a bad illness or maybe a tragedy, something, maybe a breakdown of a relationship or whatever, often our reaction is to want to resist because we don't want it to happen. But if we can actually accept and say yes with our hearts to what is happening in our lives, that actually gives us the faith and the courage to move through it and overcome it, because we can't avoid difficulties in our life, but what we can do is find the power through our meditation, find the power to allow us to work through it, to experience it, and when we've experienced it, then we can let go of it.
Mm-hmm. As I was reflecting when you were talking about these things, everyone in our life have expectations about things should fall in a place like as we wanted. And definitely, as you said, we resist and we want that things shouldn't be happen in their plan to happen. But don't you think it create some kind of stress and anxiety when these things happen? And I don't know how to deal with this, because yeah, we do have courage, we do face the challenges, but it's not as good as it sounds easy. You know what I mean to say? Is when things happens and we have courage, we face the challenges and things falls in different way as we don't want, and then we realize like, oh, this shouldn't happen, but I did face the challenge, and that creates some kind of feelings in my heart, in my mind. How to deal with that then?
So did you find that you were able to let go of whatever it was that was causing distress?
I'm getting to that, right? No, we can't let go of the things. If things doesn't fall as we want while facing challenges, we just keep thinking of those things and create more and more kind of stress.
I think this is something that we have a choice about. I really do. I think that often we can blame situations and blame circumstances outside because we have forgotten that we actually do choose how we respond to things. And as I was saying, whatever we resist, we get. So in a way, if I can have the wisdom to understand that trying to resist or trying to use words like should if I use a word like should, I'm putting an expectation on whatever it is that I think should or should not happen. And I think what helps me in this is when I think about the fact that life is a drama and each of us are actors and we're all playing our roles in the drama. And I think really what I really got out of this talk the other night was just having that, again, it's actually the power to accept. Now, we talked about the power to accept before, and I just liked the way he put it. He said, say yes with your heart.
Yeah, definitely. Each power goes hand in hand as
yes,
as we are reflecting back. But how practical it is, Nanny, to face challenges without carrying sorrows or guilt or anything like that.
I think we will always have the tendency to want to do that, but what we really need to do, and this is something that we learn through our meditation, is we learn that past is past. So nothing constructive can come of my having regrets about what happened in the past. And we have a lovely saying that we put a full stop to the past.
Yeah, I think you have mentioned earlier as well, putting full stop, and I'm being trying to that. And at certain point, I feel like it works for me as well when I remember like I'm thinking unnecessary or I'm carrying many things unnecessary with me. I'm talking about my thoughts, and when I remember the words about you saying about putting full stop, I literally automatically my thoughts get blocked and things get cleared and sorted. Yeah, possibly I think if we put more practice, we will definitely able to overcome some, I would say, some drawbacks or some we can say a drawback of using this power. We do use power in positive way, but we leave some impacts. I think that we can overcome easily.
One of the things that I mentioned right at the beginning is that it's to overcome obstacles and difficulties both externally and internally. So that's important as well. And I'm not sure if I said this earlier on, but one of the things that I always say whenever I'm talking about the powers and this positive awareness in general, I always encourage people to be very kind and gentle with themselves, because often we say should, and we have expectations of ourselves. I should have done this, I should have done that. So that's what I like people to write this down and maybe put it on their mirror. Just that one phrase, be very kind and gentle with yourself. And as you were saying, it's about practice.
True.
We don't get proficient at anything.
That's right. That's right. I would really love to ask one question, Nanny, that it's an obvious question, like what kind of problems or what kind of obstacles or what kind of negativity we can overcome using this power?
Right. I didn't mention that before, did I? Basically, we were talking about external and internal. So external obstacles might well be hostility. I want to do something, I have a great idea, and I want to put it into practice. But what I'm experiencing from people around me is hostility. They don't want to change. They don't want me to do this. So I think that, again, if I have the courage to face them and say, please, can we try this? And at least we'll know whether it works or not. And then as far as internally is concerned, the obstacle is failure. You know, quite often I can say to myself, oh, I'm a failure. I'm no good at this, I'm no good at that. And of course that is not being kind to myself. So that's what I can do. And as you were saying before, practice.
Good, thank you, Nanny. So what would be the wise tip for coming week for me and my audience too?
Okay, well, when I'm faced with hostility and failure, if I can be supported by my own inner awareness of my own value, then I can face anything, externally or internally, with faith and courage.
Thank you, Nanny. It was really awesome to know how we do face challenges, we do everything what we have been talking about, but it was really awesome to know things like how we can change our perspective, how we can bring positive awareness in our life. Thank you so much, Nanny. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe channel.